Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, this market is absolutely ridiculous. After 2 days of crypto market consolidation in the high 8,000s, Bitcoin just broke 3% higher from 8,700 to tap the $9,000 psychological and technical resistance on Binance and other top exchanges for the first time in just over 2 months. Since hitting 9,000, the crypto asset has paused, retracing to 8,950, which is just about where it is. It's been that way for about a good hour and a half at the time of me making this video. As of the time of writing, this has Bitcoin seemingly encountered vast selling pressure at 9,000. I watched the actual movement up. I saw it touch, like it scratched the surface of 9,000, and then immediately there was a huge line going straight back down, as people tend to try and sell around these levels because they assume that other people are going to be selling around these levels. While the cryptocurrency has yet to make a daily price close above the key $9,000 level, analysts say that this is a positive precedent for the market's trend. In fact, a prominent trader says that a 30% rally to 11,500 might just be next. This should lead to equally as bullish price action for other crypto assets, including Ethereum, XRP, and the rest of the 9 yards, so to speak. Indicators all over the crypto market have recently flipped bullish, implying another leg imminent is higher. Adaptive Capital's Murad Mahmudov, formerly of Goldman Sachs, recently wrote on Twitter that bears are deluded at best, dishonest at worst, drawing attention to the below chart, which shows that Bitcoin has crossed above a number of key moving averages. They are included but not limited to the 128-day simple moving average. I have not seen, except for that one person, I believe it was it Tone Vase? I don't remember at this point. The one person who is still negative that prices are going to go back down to $2,000. I say good luck to them. Every single analyst, whether it be the people at home, whether it be the people from Goldman Sachs, whether it be the people from JP Morgan Chase, whether it be the people from this bank, whether it be the people from the New York Stock Exchange, from Bloomberg, from Fidelity, they are all looking at not the same charts. They're all looking at their own charts and they're all coming to the exact same conclusions. So at the moment, I'm trying not to scream too loud. It's still not very early, but it's still morning here. And my neighbors, I know they are sleeping, so I'm trying not to annoy them. Anyway, the entire point being is that by the end of today, we should have a very good indication as to exactly where prices are going to go over the next week or so. Why? Because once the rest of the world ends up waking up, that is going to be we touched 9,000. And what typically happens is, what we've seen before is that we'll touch a number, it'll retrace, people get very scared, and then we start to move back up above that, and then we have already touched it earlier, and therefore it's not a big problem for us to go to 92, 93, 94. Very fascinating. I wonder exactly how this is all going to play out. Everyone seems extremely bullish. And I mean from beginning to end. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something in the water. I don't know if it's something in the air. That's like half a joke. This year is repeating exactly like 2017. From people asking me what should they invest in, people coming to me with weird apps to be able to do this, people asking me how to put their money into so-and-so, and even other family friends asking me what should they do with this amount of money that they've just come into. Should they put it into stocks? And that was the same exact thing that happened in 2017. And I told a lot of people, don't put it into stocks, put it into crypto. If you can afford to use it, yada, 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 that entire whole thing that we always go through. I went over that before. No one listened, but it's the exact same thing. It's the weirdest thing in the entire world. It's like being in like one of those like time travel movies kind of thing, because it's so eerily similar. And if it does play out that same exact way, by summertime, Bitcoin will have been over at least 15, 17,000 by summertime. We'll see a huge slump as the days get hotter, and then by the time we get around September again, it'll start bubbling, and then December was all she wrote. Anyway, that is the whoa news for the beginning of the video, and let us move on. Next up, Russia State Duma, the lower house of parliament, might adopt the law on digital financing or financial assets in the spring session, and official believes companies cannot legally tokenize their assets at this point in Russia, though it had defined smart contracts in a recent Digital Rights Act. However, the situation might improve soon, as the country's lower house of parliament is about to vote on the concept of digital financial assets. The new law can be adopted this spring, according to Anatoly Aksakov, chairman of the State Duma Committee on the Financial Market. He said, "I can say with a confidence of 99.9%, that is a huge number, that we will adopt this law in the spring session," the deputy said at a press conference. Aksakov said that Russian businesses needed this law as they will be able to leverage blockchain to better organize the sale of their goods, especially raw materials outside of the country. Yuri Brisov, a teacher at the Moscow Digital School, noted that it was necessary to achieve clarity on the issue of cryptocurrency regulation since the law would be ineffective without it. He said, "Today in Russia, cryptocurrencies are not prohibited by law, which means that their circulation is legally possible. On the other hand, regulators, departments, and ministries and courts are more likely to perform a prohibitive trend. Therefore, the law is really needed." I'm not going to I was going to say I'm going to hold my breath on this one. I'm not going to hold my breath on this one. This is pretty. Never been to Russia. Simply because we've had news since around 2017 that they were going to adopt some type of cryptocurrency law, and the other laws that we did see in general were very restrictive to normal everyday people, which is something that we also went over yesterday, as far as only allowing the rich to be able to do whatever they want within the cryptocurrency space. But if you were not rich, you were restricted to be able to even put money into the market at what time and for how long and exact amount of money. It was very, very odd, but I am probably certain that the law will pass. I'm not holding my breath on this being a fair law for the people of that country. However, this appears to be, except for the US and other country, I think it's just the US. Everyone says that they're releasing cryptocurrency laws this year. We know that China did it and is going to continue doing it during this year. We have Russia. India is maybe the other country that's kind of like, maybe the US isn't doing it anytime soon. I expect Canada to do it very soon. The entire EU is under that blanket FATF, Financial Action Task Force law. I think Australia is also going to give some very soon. It's popping up. It's more a matter of these are places where never forget, the government's not doing this for the benefit of their own people. They're doing it because they have found a way to make money from it, and this is why they're expediting these laws so quickly. Like, oh yeah, my gosh, we have to protect people. No, it's because they figured out how to get into the pockets of cryptocurrency exchanges. When the cryptocurrency exchanges pay taxes, they get the taxes from it. There are also other countries were trying to tax transactions and stuff like that. You know the whole deal. Anyway, let's see how this ends up forming as we move forward. Next up, payments giant Visa is expanding its reach into the mobile digital economy. On Monday, the company announced its multi-billion-dollar acquisition of Plaid, a fintech firm used by 1 in 4 people with a U.S. bank account to connect their mobile financial apps to their bank accounts. Plaid technology underlies thousands of apps and services such as Acorn, Betterment, Chime, TransferWise, and Venmo. It also supports crypto-based companies such as Coinbase and Abra, enabling users in the U.S. to transfer funds seamlessly from a bank account to their digital wallet, converting dollars to crypto. As buying and spending habits continue to shift to sleek new smartphones that support powerful financial applications. Who writes a sentence like that? From legacy players and crypto startups, Visa's $5.3 billion, dollar acquisition will establish a 62-year-old company as a major player in the digital space. The company says the acquisition will allow it to expand into new businesses. According to Visa's announcement, 75% of the internet-enabled consumers used a fintech application to initiate money movements in 2019. Versus 18% in 2015. The rise of blockchain-based and cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin, continue to demonstrate how value, money, and data can move 24/7 seamlessly and often instantly across digital networks. Where's the other part right here? Can't find it. The cryptocurrencies, movement, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where the actual thing is. The point is, yes, this is another edition of, wow, this is everywhere kind of news. I think it says it's somewhere around here as well. I'm looking for the actual name of it. How long is this damn article? I don't see it anywhere. It says I think one of the companies who they're supporting or something like that. It was somewhere in there. I think they support Bitcoin, XRP, and Ether, or like Tether was one of the main ones or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was. The point being, Visa found it appropriate to drop $5.3 billion to acquire a company that does. I mean, to be fair, when you talk about, what was it, 75% of the payments and them trying to get into the thing as well. These older companies understand that they won't and can't be around forever with their same technology. What was the name of that store? And that kept on selling Radio Shack. Yeah. We can't be a Radio Shack or a Blockbuster. You got to always transform, move on, put stuff online, get faster, quicker, stronger, especially as everyone else is doing it at the exact same time. I assume we'll probably only hear about this acquisition once unless they end up doing something completely crazy. I don't assume that Visa anytime in the very near future or at all is planning on launching their own cryptocurrency company or cryptocurrency exchange or cryptocurrency anything, and this is why they are acquiring other companies. Anyway, Visa is directly a part of this because they spent the big bucks. I don't know why I said that. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, cryptocurrency exchange Binance has made its first direct investment in a South Korean startup. According to an exclusive report by CoinDesk Korea, Binance has taken a $500,000 stake in BXB, a Korean fintech firm that launched a Korean won stablecoin last year. Alongside the investment, the two firms have inked an agreement that will see BXB support Binance and operating a new support center for local users of Binance.com, the exchange's international platform. The investment was made not through the exchange's incubator arm, Binance Labs, but directly from Binance, according to the report. Binance Labs has previously invested in local firm Terra. They said, "We are continuously working with local partners across regions to jointly realize our shared mission in furthering cryptocurrency adoption globally. This investment is another step forward to exploring avenues of growth in Korea, which is an industry-leading market strongly positioned to stimulate blockchain innovation throughout Asia." Binance has also publicly acknowledged for the first time its local entity, Binance Co. Limited, registered with Korean authorities in October 2019. The subsidiary will operate the new support center in partnership with BXB, the report indicates. So, Binance has been one of the very few cryptocurrency companies, and I don't assume that many more will do this, but it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. A lot of companies, I keep saying companies when I want to say countries, and it's been happening for years. Like, I expected it to kind of go away by now, but apparently I can't get that out of my mind, even though most countries are kind of like companies. The entire point being is that Binance is one of the few companies who have opened up not physical locations, but there's like a physical spot for local users and stuff like that for people in certain countries, because they realize that a lot of government law agency enforcement units don't like the idea of this company, who they would call a shadow company, who doesn't work directly within their jurisdiction. People are still used to the idea of a physical location where you can go if you have a problem, so someone who you can complain to. So this is why it appears that Binance is constantly opening up or acquiring other companies to be able to launch physical locations, as it were. So while not the most exciting news, Binance has said by the end of this year, I believe they will support, I think, 180 Fiat pairs. That is just about every single country on this planet. So expect more news about Binance opening up other physical locations somewhere else around the world. I think they opened up one in Brazil, maybe. I don't think they've opened one in India because, you know, life. And there was one other physical location that they also did it as well. Yeah, I guess this also kind of follows the news that we had yesterday about Korea finally, I think, getting cryptocurrency law or regulation or something like that. So as Binance has a pretty strong, I don't want to use the word grasp, they make sure to permeate within the Asian market. One can only assume that they're doing so because they may have gotten notice of something that's going to take place relatively soon, and they want to put themselves at the forefront of where all of this is going, because while there are other cryptocurrency exchanges already within Asia and within South Korea, you as a major company want to make sure that you kind of take all the money. That is just how business works. Okay, so pay attention to this one, because so whenever we talk about news, you know, like those days where we get like tons of news and it's like, oh wow, this news was everywhere. That's awesome that that person ate a ham sandwich while they were trading crypto. It's like, why is that news on every single website? This one, however, this kind of news should really be everywhere, but it's not, and I think it is a shame. Establishing a national mining pool. A national mining pool has been declared a priority in Uzbekistan. Miners who join the pool will enjoy lower electricity rates, announced the country's agency overseeing the crypto industry. The Central Asian nation is also preparing to launch a licensed cryptocurrency exchange where miners will be able to sell the coins they have minted. Once again, it has been declared a national priority to create a national mining pool in a country. The National Agency for Project Management, or NAPM, a government body under the president of Uzbekistan, revealed this week its 2020 plans for the regulation of crypto trading and the implementation of blockchain technologies. Can you imagine if your country, if the national agency of anything within your country gave notice under your president or your prime minister or your parliament or your dictator and was like, we need to make mining of cryptocurrencies a national priority? You probably can't, because most world leaders are. During a press conference on Monday, the agency stated that the proposed mining pool will help consolidate the capacities of domestic and foreign miners at the national levels. The main motivation behind the agency's decision is to ensure the economic efficiency and increase the transparency and security of cryptocurrency mining in the country, the news outlet Spot reported. NAPM thinks that this will improve energy efficiency in the sector as well as make the former Soviet Republic look more attractive to foreign investors. They have declared that mining cryptocurrencies is a national priority. Remember, I was talking about before, and I've said this at least 38 other times over the course of me having this channel, the countries who adopt this first, and once again, no one knows if crypto is going to make it. No one knows if crypto is going to be a multi-trillion, billion, quadrillion dollar industry sometime in the future. However, it's looking that way. All signs are pointing to probably. And I said the countries, the people, the early adopters who really get into this first will probably benefit the most. We've had a couple of other countries last year who gave us news that they were banning cryptocurrencies, that they were doing this, and they were not allowing people to touch it and to use it and to hold it and to buy it and to sell it. What happens in a world where there's a country who has nationalized crypto mining, who has made it easier, cheaper, more efficient, and they start mining, let's say, a good 9 years before other countries really jump onto it openly? How rich does that country become? How attractive does that country become to other investors? The establishment of a national mining pool is also part of a series of measures by NAPM to take crypto miners out of the shadow economy. Another one of these will be the launch of the country's first licensed digital asset exchange next week, on which mining companies will be able to sell the digital coins they receive for the processing of crypto transactions. Here it is right here. It's Uznex, U-Z-N-E-X. It's clearly in beta. It says Uznex, a platform operated by South Korean Kobio Group, is scheduled to officially open on Monday the 20th. Its website, which is currently in beta, shows 7 trading pairs, and I realize right now, looking at the words, that this is an article written by someone who promotes Bcash, because they say the trading pairs will be for Bitcoin Core. For those of you who have no idea what Bitcoin Core is, Bitcoin Core is actually Bitcoin, the number one coin, and they say Bitcoin Core because they call Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin. Confused? So am I. The 7 trading pairs will be Bitcoin, Tether, I don't know what all these letters are. Bcash, Bitcoin, Bcash, and USDT. The point being, when you talk about it, it's kind of like when you watch the news and they only tell you the really horrible stuff, and they tell you the stuff that makes you depressed and like really sad and angry, as opposed to telling you like, oh, this 12-year-old just graduated university. This little kid in India just cured cancer. Like, it's all these little things that should be in the news. We will probably not be hearing much news from any other country about the creation of a national cryptocurrency mining pool. Can you imagine your president, your leader, wherever you live, announcing, we are creating a national mining pool to mine Bitcoin? Well, kudos to Uzbekistan. I know that a large part of this, I'm trying to read between the lines. I understand the large part of this is because they want to not only nationalize, but also in some way centralize the actual usage of a lot of this. They want to make sure that they retain the power in some sort of way. But they're still intelligent to get at the forefront of this to tell people not only is it legal, but here's an actual cryptocurrency exchange you can use. Here's a so-and-so. Please mine. Just let us know. That's a lot better than saying, no, you can't do what you want with your own life or your own body, and you are restricted from doing so until we say further. So golf clap for Uzbekistan and their smartness for the future. Smartness isn't the word that I wanted to use. It was the only one I could come up with. Anyway, let's move on. And to kind of finish things off, major crypto exchange Huobi becomes a member of the Blockchain Turkey platform to cooperate with local players on blockchain efforts. 5 months after officially entering the Turkish market, Huobi joined the Blockchain Turkey platform as a platinum member. Ooh, fancy. The global exchange announced on the 15th of January, according to a press release shared with Cointelegraph Turkey. Founded by the Turkish Informatics Foundation in 2018, the Blockchain Turkey platform, BCTR, is an independent nonprofit organization that aims to create a healthy blockchain ecosystem in Turkey. The platform has members from banking and finance, of course it does, venture capitalists, of course it does, technology, and crypto industries. Well, that last one's kind of obvious. Huobi has become the first global exchange to become a member of BCTR. Reminds me of TCBY for some reason, I don't know why. According to the press release, Huobi Turkey General Manager Alfan Gogis, that sounds like a last boss name in a video game, Alfan Gogis, remarked that they believe in the importance of maintaining blockchain-driven development together. He said, we support BCTR's vision to secure Turkey's regional leadership in a decentralized system. For those of you who do not know, Turkey last year, and I believe the year before, we have not had much news about it this year, was undergoing really crazy inflation, and the cryptocurrency market became very big in that country, where I think they were, I think, the largest crypto market within Europe. I believe it was Turkey, Germany, and I want to say France or Italy. I can't remember what the third and fourth countries were, but I remember Turkey was definitely at the top of that list. And I believe that they also announced recently as well that they're going to be releasing cryptocurrency rules, laws, regulations relatively soon, because I'm pretty sure that they've realized over the course of a year, if your currency is undergoing, I dare not say hyperinflation, if you're undergoing heavy inflation by 20, 30, 40%, people in your country are going to start to look for safe havens to be able to put their money and to be able to maintain their money and not lose money. And this is why I think crypto took off like a rocket within that country. Anyway, Huobi is now officially a part of the Blockchain Turkey platform as a platinum member. So kudos to Turkey, or rather kudos to Huobi, but it's more like a when we start to see the cracks of the financial system, when we see that things are going awry, or when we are told not to worry, even though people are printing $1 trillion and using that to boost the market, people turn to crypto and will continue to turn to crypto, especially as the cryptocurrency market's prices continue to go higher. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brittany Neal, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mail Louise, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garnett, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day. Kyle keeps skipping that leg day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, and Tigara Machonisa. Thank you all very, very much for your support. For those of you who are not looking at the screen at this very moment, you're probably going to be happy. Bitcoin is currently at $8,948. That is up. Before I started making the video, it was around here. When I started making the video, we were around here. Now, right now, we are up 3% on Bitcoin's price. Ether is currently up by 6.56%. A lot of people are saying that if Bitcoin ends up passing by 9,000 swiftly, that we should probably see a $200 plus Ethereum. XRP is also up by 4%. EOS is up by 10 on absolutely no news. I assume is the niceness of the market that's causing everything to rise. Ethereum Classic is up by 30%. Who knows why? But it's up by 30%. So if you are holding Ethereum Classic, pat yourself on the back because you chose an altcoin that was going to pump randomly on this day. Tezos is up by 12%. Chainlink is up by 16%. Where's the other ones? The market's green. Some coins have their Satoshi value in red, but it's like a slight dip in red. I think most people typically care about the dollar, euro, pound, yen amount more than they do the Satoshi value, at least at the moment. And yeah, the market's looking pretty okay. I think everyone's waiting to see if Mr. Number One is going to pass and stay by above 9,000. Trying not to get my hopes up. Trying not to say what I think is going to happen because so it's going to be an interesting looks at clock Friday. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.